This morning on Daybreak, we talk about the Department of Agriculture working to improve providing food to those in need.
And if you're thinking about putting your house on the market, realtors in Springfield say you should do it now. We'll tell you why.
Also, the reason behind a lengthy wait list for those in need of kidney donations in the Ozarks. We'll have all that for you this morning on Daybreak.
Welcome back. It is Monday, January 6th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano, starting off a fresh week after a good weekend. I went to St. Louis, took my dad curling. Do you know this?
Yeah, I knew you were planning on it. How'd it go?
It was very fun. Highly recommend it.
Okay.
And even when you fall on the ice, it doesn't hurt because you're already close to the ground.
You got inspired from the last Olympic Games, right?
I clearly did. Yeah. USA won the gold there, and so we went and took a curling lesson. It was pretty fun. I put some photos up on my Facebook page there.
Okay, so you got to check those out. You come home with any medals or anything?
No medals. We did have a come-from-behind win in the only game we played after the lesson. So
that's the spirit.
Maybe I just retire undefeated in curling, right? It's too fun. I would play it again.
Yeah, one way to look at it.
Elisa Rapp, I hear you scoffing at me right now.
Did you do well? Was it fun?
It was
just
fun.
Something so different. I wouldn't think you could get lessons in that.
Yeah, it's when you slide. It's like a 40-pound rock that you slide on the ice. You got to sweep the ice to make it move. A lot of strategy. It's like shuffleboard on ice.
That's a good way to put it.
Not bad.
Very cool.
Fun way to spend the weekend. And you know what? It felt nice in St. Louis. How was it here, and how is it as we start off today?
We got our highs in the middle 50s yesterday, so it'll be a little bit cooler today, but still really nice. Temperatures this morning are starting out cold in the upper 20s and lower 30s. We've got some clear skies and dry roads. It's 29 degrees in Springfield on some very light easterly winds. Clear skies and dry roads again as you head out to work and school. Temperatures a little bit on the cold side. It's 28 degrees in Branson, 31 in West Plains, 31 in Fort Leonard, and 29 degrees in Springfield. Winds are fairly calm and mostly out of the north and northeast at about 5 miles per hour. We're looking at some dry roads as we head out there today. Again, things will be pretty quiet through the afternoon with lots of sunshine. Will be a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still above average. 51 degrees for that high by dismissal with mostly sunny skies. So a nice January day today, a couple of quiet days ahead before a late week storm could bring us maybe a couple of different hazards, maybe some heavy rain, maybe a strong storm or two, maybe a wintry threat. We've got lots to break down about this already. We'll do that coming up in 10 minutes.
Starting with today's top local news, lack of nutrition affects 1 in 5 kids in Missouri.
That's right. That's why the State Department of Agriculture is working to address the need for access to healthy and nutritious foods. This morning, Color 10's Nija McDonald is here to explain its efforts. Nija.
Well, good morning, Joe and Lauren. Through a food desert grant, 12 projects, including the Drew Lewis Foundation, will receive assistance for things like constructing a wash and pack facility for produce grown on site. Now, North Springfield is just one of the many areas in the state considered a food desert, which means a grocery source is more than half a mile away from a neighborhood. Amy Blanzett of the Drew Lewis Foundation says food deserts are commonly found in low-income areas where people might not have access to reliable transportation.
You think about having to go to the grocery store without your car, and now you've got to walk half a mile, or for many residents more than a mile back. You're only going to be able to handle so many groceries. Even with the bus system, we have a great system in the north that help individuals get to food sources. However, you can only put the amount that you can sit with, so it ends up with food deserts that individuals just have a lot more problem getting to food and then getting the food home.
Well, Blanzett says the grant will help the organization's overall goal, which is to improve the quality of life in underserved urban neighborhoods.
I put one under contract this morning. It was on market for 2 days. I put one under contract last week. It was on the market for 5 days.
Realtors are saying Springfield is a seller's market, and if you're thinking of selling your home, you'll want to act quickly. Over the last 6 months, houses of all price points were on the market for an average of just 2 weeks. And last year, they went under contract 7 days faster than in 2018. We spoke with local realtor Laura Duckworth, who says the reason for the housing boom is an influx of millennials and people moving from out of state looking to buy. If you've been thinking about selling your home, she's telling you to act now.
We've got so many people wanting to buy, the supply is so low. The buyers that are looking in the winter, they are serious. So if you can get those buyers during the winter, you're going to get the best price for your house.
She says if you are considering selling or buying a home, talk to an agent to help you navigate and get serious offers.
In today's medical news, even though almost 4 million Missourians are currently registered as potential organ, eye, and tissue donors, there are still 1,100 people waiting for a new kidney. Mid-America Transplant's Tara Skaggs says there are many misconceptions about organ donation. First is the myth that you are too old to be a donor. An organ donor's age limit is actually 80, and for tissue donations, you can be 85. Secondly, the myth that if I sign the registry, doctors will not want to save my life.
They take an oath to do everything possible to save your life. And with organ donation specifically, it is an irreversible cessation of life from your brainstem. So the physicians have done absolutely all that they possibly can to try and save that person's life. Organ Procurement Organization are the only people that would have access to the national registry or the state registry. Doctors don't have access to even check that.
After hearing all that, if you would like to join the National Organ and Tissue Donor Registry, visit midamericatransplant.org.
Northwest Arkansas now has its first medical marijuana delivery service. Relief Center of Bentonville started it last week to make buying medical pot more convenient for customers after delivery has gotten more in demand. The Bentonville dispensary offers the service to those living in a 15-mile radius of the location, and they say that buyers must be repeat customers with a minimum purchase being $100.
Putting crime into focus now, a local sex offender will spend 19 years behind bars for drug trafficking and creating fake money. State attorneys say 53-year-old William Chamley from Sparta was on the run from police in Arkansas. He was found in the Ozarks a few years ago in a camper with guns, meth, and counterfeit bills. Chamley admitted to buying drugs weekly on Craigslist and was also convicted of filming a 10-year-old child but failed to register as a sex offender in Missouri. Chamley was sentenced last week for the crimes.
This morning, don't forget about the Highway 76 lane closure in Branson, as crews will be working on the westbound lane from Longhorn Steakhouse all the way to Gettin' Basted from 7 a.m. to 5 in the evening. Construction equipment has to be put on the road to help build Wonderworks. The job should be finished by January 26th.
We've got some dry roads on our Color 10 Live Drive this morning. Skies are clear. Temperatures a little bit cold. We're in the upper 20s and lower 30s this morning. It is 29 degrees in Springfield. Details on a nice January day ahead coming up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.